Hello and welcome back. This is But Is It a Crisis? But this isn't just any episode. It is our season 1 finale. I'm Natalie.
I'm Amanda. Or wait, you're Amanda.
This episode, I'm Amanda.
I'm also Amanda.
Yeah, there you go.
This has been a thing since before we even did our first episode, is who was going to be Amanda and also Amanda. So they take turns every episode.
It's only fair.
Yeah.
It is only fair. So being it is our season finale, we want to reflect on what this past year has been, because we've actually been filming for over a year.
Mm-hmm.
We've been posting for a year. And I want to go back to the very, very beginning, how this even began. Like, what led us to be delusional enough to think that, we regular ass girls in our 40s.
We're not regular. We're mad good looking.
I know. But like,
and super
even
funny.
Like, start a podcast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys remember?
I remember this mind over here.
I feel like I thought that during our lunches that we would meet up for lunch and we would just talk about life. I thought that we were so entertaining. I thought we were hilarious. I mean, we've always been hilarious. So, and then I thought about like the podcast world, and I didn't feel like people were as funny as we were going to be. And I also didn't feel like there were any podcasts that were having a conversation about all of life, because when we would meet for lunch, because that's what you do with your girlfriends, you're talking about everything. You're like, oh my God, I had to go get my oil change, and this guy tried to sell me an oil change for $700 and he ripped me off. And
It's always the air filter.
exactly. Like, how is it $700 for an oil change? And so all of those things, I feel like, are part of life, and they're part of a funny conversation. And I don't know. I just thought it would be great.
And we always are going through something, right? But that is life. We always had something that we thought was so traumatic at the moment. And then we'd be like, but is that really a crisis? Like, because next week we'd be okay. And be like, oh yeah, that's fine. So it was nice to get together and talk about all the things that do seem like were hard at the moment, but we do make it through, right? Yeah. Typically. And then as we're aging and getting wiser, we thought we'd focus more onto the people who are more our age. And because I don't hear much of podcasts for people for our age.
Also that, but I didn't realize that till later. When we were doing our hashtags, women over 40 is the highest ranked of all of them on there. Like, our women our age are looking for conversations, because you do women over 20, women over 30, all that stuff. The view count or the hits or whatever are way less. Mm-hmm. And that makes sense, right? Because the internet is aging the way that we're aging. We came on there in those years. Mm-hmm. But it still, even though we're on there the most, most of the conversations are like, yeah, when I was 20 years old, I went, which is great. Have that conversation, but we're here. Yeah. And we're fabulous.
We are.
Thriving.
Right.
Yeah. We were at Crema.
Yes.
When you brought up the idea, and I think it was you talking about something, and I was like, but is it a crisis? Uh-huh. And then later on, it was like, that should be the podcast. Yes. But is it a crisis? Because in the moment, it feels like a crisis, but is it really?
Right.
And
it's kind of like therapy for us too. I feel like we always talk to each other. We were able to get stuff out. Like, we were there for each other. So I think we're doing the same thing now, but we're just doing it live, right? Yeah. Hopefully reaching other people.
Yeah. And being that group with somebody of like, yeah, it can be a crisis, and then you get it out, and then it's like, whatever, you go through the next crisis.
Okay. Yeah. The next day something comes up.
Right. Like,
now, to the audience, to our listeners, to our followers and all of that, we might seem like we know what we're doing, right? But at the beginning, did we? Do you feel like we knew what we were doing?
Not at all. I think I was so nervous. I was like trembling. I don't even know what it was. I was so nervous. Like, I still am too sometimes when the reels will come out and be like, oh my God, look at the way I look. It is very how would you describe it? It's very real, right? And you see things, and we all have insecurities, we all have feelings. And we were just talking about the way we were looking, like. But I think I progressed a lot from the start to here. and kind of like still a little bit insecure about some of the things, but not as much as it used to be.
No, you've done a fantastic job from the beginning. Like in the beginning, I felt like you would lose even what you wanted to talk about. And then you were like,
well, and now it's probably high. And I stopped smoking. So.
Also that.
For me, I've talked to camera before, but I was nervous. I didn't realize I was going to be nervous because I felt like you guys were watching me talk to camera. I don't usually have an audience watching me talk to camera.
I didn't see that.
And so I was definitely like surprised by like, oh, wait. It's like when you're public speaking. That's how I felt. I felt like I was having a public speaking moment. But now I don't have that at all. Now it's just, it feels like this is us going to lunch. Like
correct.
We're just talking to each other.
Just with headphones. Yeah. Because you guys both have more time in front of the camera. I feel like you're definitely like an influencer. You're an influencer. So you guys have more time. So I did feel a little bit underneath you guys. Like, oh my God, they're going to be judging me. Like, what do I was so nervous.
Yeah, but people think you're so funny. Like, seriously, like the people that watch you think you're funny because you're relatable. You're like, and I've said this before, like you just have this air, like you're just doing it. You're just on here.
It's not performative.
It's not.
You're just you.
Yeah.
Which is pretty performing. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
just kidding.
Whole life is performing.
Yeah, I know.
That way.
And it's almost like, I'm coming from a place like sometimes people don't start something because they think they have to have it all figured out. I have to know exactly what I'm doing every step of the way. And honestly, we've been figuring it out.
Yes.
Like you've done a great job at creating the posting schedule and like where we post and, you created the guide and all of that.
You are definitely the mom or the wife of the group for sure.
But even with all that stuff, right? Like everything is its separate thing. It doesn't matter how much Natalie and I have done whatever. And even with as much as you and I have done, we've had plenty of these conversations where you don't know what makes sense or works or anything like that. I'm not any kind of I just know what I like to see from the internet. And I said it would be interesting to see if this thing worked. And then as we've done it, we've changed things, right? Because things work better or don't work better. And we still have a ways to go, right? Because, and I've realized that with making anything in the beginning, like you're so in the making of it that it's harder to pull back and really see, okay, well now I can start refining some of these things. And I think that that's going to be the exciting part about the next season is really doing the refining. Like, okay, we've got this down. We're comfortable here. Now the world that this is, because that was the original idea, right? Is that this is a world, this is our own little world. And there's our 3-group world, and then there's Natalie's little world, and there's Amanda's little world, and there's Amanda's little world. So kind of developing that sense of our holistic space, I think is the next season.
Now we're 24 episodes deep. Did you think that we were going to like, when we started this, did you see this so far ahead? Like, did you see yourself 24 episodes deep in this podcast?
I don't know how long I felt like it was going to go on for. I think that the image in my mind is actually way further down of like of like when we're this thing. So
when we make it, when we're actually people. Yes, you have I think the furthest vision for us,
but for sure. But I don't think I was looking like a year ahead.
Oh no,
I didn't think about like how, and even now I'm still figuring that out. Like how do you do? Because on the internet, how do you do a season finale and have a break without disappearing off of the internet, because the internet doesn't like it when you disappear.
Oh, no.
And so that whole like sitcom thing, I always go back to that of like the filler of the summer where they do reruns and all that stuff. How are we going to do that without it being boring? Is that this part that I'm going to have to figure out. But and I have ideas about how I want to do it. But even then, I've never seen anybody do that. So I don't know how that's going to work. Because this idea that you're like having to do content always, it doesn't work if you have like a show. If you're just doing social media and it's kind of your life, then that's part of the thing, right? But this is a production. It is a show. There needs to be a gap and then continuation, because then it just feels like, I don't know, like it feels like it's just going on forever. Like imagine Friends like forever and ever
Yeah, it is
I mean,
forever. Oh my gosh.
At my house it is.
Grey's Anatomy. It's still going. It's crazy.
But like Grey's Anatomy has gotten to the point where you're like, Jesus, how many people
Have come
can
and
almost
gone.
die?
Yeah.
And how many people, like how many accidents, and then the accidents get more ridiculous. Like I want breaks so that it's not weird like that. Like
Right.
there's 46,000
So we are taking a break?
characters.
Is that what we're doing?
There's a 2-month break that we're
Okay.
gonna have.
Okay.
A 2-month filming break, which to the audience will still be a 2-month break by the time they get more episodes, like 2.5.
Okay. So okay. It's so yes. Okay. Whenever I come, I'm here. I'm like, perfect. Like, okay, I love this. It's a whole like anxiety. I guess it gets up to here, picking out stuff. So that gives me 2 months. I'm so happy right now. So in the nicest way.
I don't have to do this.
Yeah,
for 2.5
no, it's
months.
not. But I do. So I do miss that.
She
we're
loves
not,
us, I promise.
I know. But
Meanwhile,
it's
the last episode is like, oh, we just love doing this
yes,
at each other.
but it was like, because it's on our weekends, like, you know what I mean? I had started going back to church, and now we're doing this on. So it gives me 2 months, and then of course a new thing will come up for me because ADD at the finance.
So what part of the process has been the hardest for you guys about all of this?
Commitment, sticking to something, and coming no matter how you feel. Like, I've come with a hangover. I've come still drunk. I've come stressed out. I've come like in the verge of tears. Like, it is very hard to put all that shit to the side and be here and be present in the moment, right? Like, you guys are depending on me, like, to be here. Like, it's to see this as a job. You know what I mean? So that's been the hardest for me. But it's also what I'm most proud of.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would say the hardest is managing people who I'm not professionally managing, because the reason why it's easier, quote unquote, easier for me to set things up or things like that is because I've been in a management leadership role for 20 years, right? But there's a difference between doing that at work because of the positionality. You are in whatever role that you've agreed to do lesser work. I don't mean that it's less important, but your time and energy, you're getting paid for less time and energy, ideally, in a good situation. I am getting paid for more time and energy, which means when I have to cover things or do more things or push you harder, and that requires more of me, I don't feel bad about it because I know this is what I signed up for and I get paid to do this, right? Mm-hmm. But for us, this was something that, even though it was my brainchild, it was supposed to be an equal share thing. And that's just impossible because our lives are different. And also, because I created it, there are things that I'm seeing in a certain way that you're not seeing in a certain way. Mm-hmm. And so being able to figure out how I want to address that and what boundaries I want to place on how much I'm doing, and communicating that before I get to the point of like, you motherfucker.
Yeah.
No, she's basically saying like when we fuck up. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's definitely me. However,
no, it's me too. It's
you do?
Me too.
Oh my God.
There are just times that I also have to realize that you don't see what's in my brain.
No,
right?
and you overachieve on stuff. If you get your mindset, wow, let there be light. Yeah. When you want something,
how we really
no. Well, the season finale.
Don't show us.
We just got exposed.
The filter came off.
That's pretty funny.
Okay, go ahead.
You do jump in things head first. Like, you'll jump in, you give things your all. Yeah. I kind of expected that from you.
Well, I mean, but also I have the same thing that you guys have, right? Because I know that I'm beholden to you guys. I am doing more than I would even for myself, because for myself, I'll make an excuse. I'll be like, oh, well, I can start again next week and I'll skip something or whatever. But because I know that I'm putting pressure on you, now I got to put pressure on me to make sure I get you to the thing so that you do the thing that you're supposed to do on time. So, I mean, it's a good system because we are holding each other accountable. Mm-hmm. But also the other part of that was, you want to take something that you love, as with anything, right? Like, my stuff is books. You want to take something that you love and be like, oh, if I could do this all the time, that would be fantastic. But you want to find the barrier to where you don't ruin that thing because you have turned it into this other thing. I don't want to ruin how much fun we have sitting around talking to each other by being a taskmaster and saying, this is what we have to do this quarter, guys. You know, so it's just a balance.
Yeah. I think for me, the hardest part is when I'm committed to something and something happens outside of that and I have to change or pivot. I feel like I'm disappointing you guys. Like the time that I've had to reschedule because, you know, my son had issues or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That takes a toll on me because I'm committed to something and I feel like I've let you guys down. So that has been hard for me, even though it was out of my control.
Yeah, no.
It's still, you know.
I hope you don't feel that way, especially over your son. And
No, like life things happen, and that's important. Like it's different than if you're at the strip club and got too drunk last night.
Wow. Do I feel like a target? And I still showed up the next day. Okay.
She did. No, but no. That's real. That's a real crisis, right? That's part of what we talk about.
Right. That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not. And that's not flaking. Yeah. That's not flaking.
And I'm happy to be supportive during that time. Like, thank God we have each other and we're doing this together.
Right.
No, that's completely
that
different.
comes way first.
Yeah, I know, but you know,
you're human. You're gonna feel that way.
I don't like when I've committed myself and I can't come through or I can't see things through. So going back to, has there been a time where you didn't want to show up, but you did so anyways?
Not to the tapings. I'm happy to do the taping every time. I really want to get better at giving myself more time before I get here. Because
like overachiever over there, 5 a.m.
Because there's so much that I want to do content wise, or we've had this conversation when we get here, right? Like you want to take video or you want to take photo or
maximize.
Yes. Yeah. And you can take, like, we could build out so much more of like picking our outfits or all of those things. But because I'm like, you know, I want to get better at that.
So what, you procrastinate? Is that what you're saying? Like, what time do you wake up to come?
Girl, I got up, which it's the weekend, and right, so this isn't like super early. I got up at 8:30.
Okay.
But when I was talking to my partner about like, I have to get up tomorrow at 8:30. It's like 8:30. What time is the thing? I said 11:30. He's like, you have plenty of time. I said, no, I don't, because I need an hour to like do my morning, and
get
now
up,
we're
make
at
your
9:30.
coffee.
And then I only have an hour to get ready because I want to be here, 45 minutes in advance. I'm never here 45 minutes in advance. So it's just, I need to get up those days at like 6 o'clock in the morning. I have to.
I'm getting home at 6 o'clock.
I think I would stress out so I think what works best for me is like, I have my outfits picked out. I do need to go back onto the schedule of, hey, on this day, do all this, do all that, like, to do up, and not just about being here, but I struggle with being here because there's always something that's going on in my crazy life that, like, especially on the weekend, or like I have family down right now, like my kids stayed with me when they're supposed to be with their dad. It's just there's so many things, and not in a bad way, but like it's a Sunday, it's the weekend. Like I've been working my ass off all week, and then to have to like stop and not be able just to relax and, catch up on the laundry and all the things. We're taking out major, a chunk of time just to be here. So I struggle with that. But then when I get here, I'm like, I love this. It's because I have to look at it more like we're just hanging out. But again, at the same time, it's like, they're counting on me. I need to be there. Like I have to be prepared, all this stuff. Like, I have to have my outfits ready. So it is an extra step of doing things.
And if we were just hanging out, there are times where you flake out on those things.
Yeah.
So that's probably where that pressure comes from. Like usually you'd be like, guys, I can't make it.
Yeah.
Whereas
no, touche.
Like, damn it, I have to.
Yes.
You have to.
Yeah.
And it's something that I've been, yeah, exactly. There's something I've been kind of like going over in my head is like, your goals don't care about your feelings. And that's the way that I see it. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, yeah, but my goals don't care how I feel.
Right.
My goals are my goals, and they're still going to be there. And if I don't do it, I'm not going to achieve them. So it doesn't care about how you feel right now in the moment. So you have a commitment.
And then you feel worse.
Yes.
Even though at the moment I feel like if I didn't come, I'd be like, oh my gosh. Right.
It would ruin your day.
Yeah.
Because and then it's also even like the production team, right? Like we paid them, they made plans, like all of those things. It's such a big ecosystem, even though we're still super small. Yeah. But again, you're relying on each other, and so you have those feelings. There was something that I was going to say to something that you just said, and I can't remember what it was.
Okay. Well, for those of you who have been listening and watching, you guys can kind of tell that every week or every episode, each of us has a topic. Now, we sometimes have a conversation about what that topic is, but sometimes it's more like, this is what I'm going to talk about, you know? Has there been a topic or a conversation or maybe something within the episode that has made you feel uncomfortable or like awkward to talk about, or has increased the tension in the conversation and you're like, oh, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to go there.
So I can go after. So there was something that I said, we were talking about finances and I mentioned a family member. I feel like she saw it and maybe she was like, said something. So I felt bad after. Not during. So now I try to be a little bit more condescending in my head. Then I'm at the same time, I'm like, I shouldn't be worried. Just be real. But then at the same time, like people are listening. And
Did you say a name?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was specifically talking about something about
We gotta
finances
get
and
better
having
about a name
thing. Yeah. So after, and then when I think that has affected me majorly with posting because when I saw that and it went and it's still there and I'm like, oh my God, like I wanted to go back and just delete it. So not necessarily like, but that after. So like I had to find a balance, like how to still talk about the things that have pressured me or, and not be able to make someone else feel bad.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't,
That's
nothing was intentional to,
Right.
my goal is not to hurt anybody or talk anything or make anybody feel bad at all. It's just talking about real life and how we're feeling and mostly laugh about things,
Right.
not considering other people might take it the wrong way.
Yeah, I think there's a little of that. I think about that sometimes when we talk about our kids so much, in the sense of like, you know, if your kid's older and they have a spouse come over and you're like showing the spouse their naked
Baby pictures.
and you're like, oh my God, he was so cute, look at him, and your kid's like, please put that away. I think that we have a little bit of that, and it's meant in that way of like, this is my life or my kids or whatever. And I think if we're saying something very negative, or I don't feel like we say a lot of things very negative, but if we're saying something that we had a bad experience with, I think that we're definitely trying very hard to not say names. But if you take all of that out, then what the fuck are we sitting here talking about? We're sitting here talking about like recipes or something.
Exactly. So that's hard for because I want to, again, I want to be as real and raw because that's what I think people are going to want or watch because, and it's me. Yeah. However, thinking after that, this shit doesn't go away. Like it's still airing. There's still things and it could be a part, like a sensitive part.
And that's also now, right? Because when this is much larger, somebody could go into the back catalog and be like, can you believe what they said? Because right now we still don't have like the internet trolls being like, oh, there was one. Generally, if I see something really stupid, I delete it. There was one on YouTube on a short, on the short where you were talking about you say to your son, he needs to be able to financially provide for his wife if he decides that they're going to have children, so that she has the option to be a stay-at-home mom. And a man, TM, right? Trademark, said that's selfish. That's all they said. They didn't even go into a rant. Delete. Immediately delete.
Yeah, because
get
it's
out of
our
here.
World.
Right.
But how is that selfish?
But see, that's one person, one time on one video.
Yeah. Well, that push pressure, I guess, on the man.
When it's 50 people that are also not.
So are we just going to delete them all, or are we going to talk shit back and be like, what do you mean?
Well, no, there's a way to restrict comments, like certain words. Like if we want to restrict comments that have certain words in them, we can do that on the
When
back
I
end.
deleted it, I realized I shouldn't have. Because one, the system likes for you to answer comments. But I want us to have like a fine line between letting people discourse with us, because that's an opinion, whatever. If you find that to be selfish, that's fine, because maybe you look at it like you have 2 jobs and you're fucking dying to provide this thing, and she also decided that she was going to have a baby with me, so doesn't that mean that she has to also do the labor? There's all different sides to ideas. I'm fine with people talking because we want that for sure. But like the garbage, is going to be deleted forever. Like if somebody's just in there, you're like delete, block immediately. Like all of it, because that's what people are going to do.
Because they're trying to get poke you, like trying to get something out of you, get some type of attention.
People are behind the screens and they have
commandos,
courage that they normally wouldn't have.
I know, say it to my face, right?
Yeah,
right.
But they wouldn't because whatever. I forgot what I was gonna say.
I threw you off.
She's so upset. She's like,
who was it?
Yeah,
show me. Point me there. Fight him. Amanda's like, don't fight with people on the internet.
Yeah, that was part of our script.
That was part of the beginning.
I know, and I'm like, damn it.
But I specifically said don't fight with them under our but it's
yes, I can still
account.
do it under my own.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Like I'm gonna note to self.
What have I felt uncomfortable or vulnerable with certain conversations? Obviously the in-laws where I didn't talk at all.
At all.
But it's also like moments that I've been triggered to cry. I'm a crybaby. Like you guys know this. I cry over all the things, every fucking thing. But I don't like crying in front of people. So when that has happened, I'm like, like I when I've talked about my grandma sometimes, or when I've said something about my son, or whatever the case may be, or even the friendships breakup, that was a very, very vulnerable thing for me to talk about. But I'm trying to get back to that part of me that I hid for a long time because, vulnerability is a strength, right? Showing people that side of you, it takes courage to show people that you're hurt by something or whatever the case may be. But in those moments, I've in my head, I've been really hard on myself, like keep it together.
Get it right, you little baby, toughen up.
And also it's hard because like you don't want to be crying on the internet,
right?
But if this is a reflection of real life, then sometimes you will. And I struggle. So my response is I struggle with that around my son that was killed in a car accident. I know that there are a lot of people who have suffered loss of their child, in all different kinds of ways. And I feel like, that could be helpful to somebody to have some of those conversations, but I don't want, he's not for sale for me. Like, and nothing that we talk about is ever in a negative connotation. We're not selling our family stories. We don't look at it like that. Like we said in the beginning, we want everything to feel how we feel when we're having a conversation. We just love what we're doing. But I don't want anybody hurting anything about him, even if it's just his, me saying something about him. Right. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think I'll handle it well. And I might be the one sitting there fighting with somebody in the comments, but also like my relationship with him is mine. Mm-hmm. And that's all I have left of him. Mm-hmm. And so I don't really like sharing that with people.
And you've only briefly touched it, only very, very minorly. Yeah. Like this is probably the most you spoke about it. And that's fine. You don't need to speak about anything that you don't feel comfortable with. But it could be something eventually to talk about grief or, because you had some great grief ideas. I remember you mentioning, but it's, whenever we're ready. So we've all been vulnerable. We've all said some things in everyday life. And
Mm-hmm. So what has been the most surprising, I guess, self-reflection?
Now we're trying to switch that, huh? Like, I just feel a moment right now. It's okay, you okay? I
know. No, not in our season finale. More so like a moment that has made you reflect in a conversation that we've had or a topic that we've discussed. Something surprising or something that in the moment you felt like proud of or like, or just something about the moment that you're like, whoa, or like an aha moment.
Well, I listen sometimes I obviously before I post, I recap. So I'm now listening to the full episode and like right in front of the TV, and it's like so fun to me. Like I'm like, wow, this actually is. Yeah, we're funny. This is
watching us.
Yeah, yes. I forgot about this moment, or I can't believe she said that, or like, oh my God, Amanda's gonna kill us. Like, you know what I mean? It's just so funny. That's the part I do enjoy the most because you forget all the moments that because we're talking so much, and a lot of the subjects change so fast that you forget what we even like when we talked about I didn't even remember half of our things that we spoke about. Like so recapping is so fun to me.
Yeah, I was seeing an episode's like a picture, a still of whatever the episode was, and I was like, I have no idea what that episode was about.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually do. So yeah, it's like watching it from zero. It's like, oh, these girls are so funny.
Yeah. Like,
I like them so much.
Yeah. You really do start to like yourself, and you see why we're doing this, because we see the funny, the good, the hard, all the moments.
Yeah. I think that for me, it's been like, I know we have chemistry. Again, like we had all these conversations and then we are entertaining. But I think how comfortable we've got with like being on top of responding to each other without it feeling scripted or weird or uncomfortable. I think that I love that part. Like we are literally just talking.
Yeah. Yeah, because none of it is scripted.
Right.
Like none of it.
No, right. No, it's just
We
a
talk about a
topic
topic.
based.
Yeah,
Yes. And then goes way off.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does.
It does.
Way off. Yeah. And I don't think we've ever really stuck to it. And that's one of the part that when I'm a host, I love the most, because then I'm like, hey, tell me more about that. Like what, when you're talking about spicy, like what are you talking spicy, baby? Or you teach us new tricks and trades. Like I want to try that. Like,
I meant spicy controversial.
Oh, that's talking about something new.
Mean sexual. And I should have known my audience.
That's disappointing.
Is there anything that you feel like we should have done differently?
Ooh.
No, other than that one thing that I said that could have offended somebody. Most people I don't care about, like if I offend you, like, but when it was, I think other than that, but no, I don't think we're doing anything wrong.
No, I think what I would like to see done differently is what I talked about early on. I feel like that we can definitely build out our Instagram world better, in the sense of like I feel like right now it's like a landing page for a show. Like think about or a landing page for a brand. Think about like I don't want to name a brand that I'll regret to name later, but think about like Colgate, right? Like Colgate toothpastes social media account. I haven't been there, but my assumption is it's probably like a bunch of commercials, and they have very few followers compared to the millions of people who use Colgate, right? Because it's just not interesting, and they just have it as like, because everybody does. I don't want our Instagram to be that. I don't want it to just be a place for the commercials of our longer episodes. I want it to be like those brands that do it really well.
Yeah.
There are brands who you follow their social media because they do it so well. They're funny, or they're really artistic, or there's a reason that you're there. Yeah. And so I wanted us to each have that inside of Instagram when it's our 2 weeks to be in charge of it. And so that's really what I look forward to, is us trying to see if we can get to.
Okay. Now I'm going to go into like an ideal world, right? A year from now, we're at the season finale of season 2. What do you think is like where we are? Wishful thinking. I also want you to think about like if we had a ideal guest, who would that be and why? So 2-part question.
Michael told me the other day, he's like, you should bring me and Edgar on there, and we would have a conversation. And so I do want to bring guests. Like I did see this more with guests and talking more randomly about certain things. I know you have something to say it.
No, I was going to say, I think that the first thing that came to my head is I think that we should have a boy one day, for sure. I think that some guy energy would be interesting.
Beat him up.
No. But I don't think I want it to be a partner.
No?
That's up to you for yours. I definitely wouldn't.
And Michael's funny to me. He's going to talk shit about me, but...
Yeah, Michael is funny. But I don't want people to be like, what's the word I'm looking for? Filtered in what they're going to say, because you're going to filter yourself. He's going to filter himself. If you're talking about like bad sex, right? And you're talking about bad sex with a friend of ours who's a man, we're going to have a whole different conversation than talking about bad sex with your husband.
Yeah, no, touche. I would never go there. We don't have bad sex. But however...
Amanda, you know the point that I'm making.
Yeah, no, touche. I do. But I definitely want it to be more random. I would, and a year from now, hopefully I have a stylist. Someone who's picking out my clothes, maybe doing like my makeup a little bit. if not Natalie, someone very similar to her. Yeah, that would be ideal for me.
Okay.
A year from now, I would like us to have at least 10,000 followers. I would like us to have started already.
I'm just thinking about myself. I was like a stylist. I'm just worried about how I look.
Professional partnerships that are turning this more into
Monetizing.
Not so much monetizing as something that is going into like a professional thing, right? Like we take ourselves seriously.
Yeah.
And we're taking this seriously, and I want to see the progression of that. Nothing happens overnight. Everything takes time, but we're valuable. Like this is a valuable thing that we have made, and it will be nice to start seeing some of that recognized.
Okay. I agree. I think some brand partnerships with things that make sense for us,
Yes.
right? Like, you know, there are certain really cool apps for women in their 40s. There's a lot of things out there that help us deal with what we're going through right now hormonally, and I think that really aligns with our brand.
Yeah.
Mental health brand partnerships, I think, would be really cool.
We should all like bring the vibration plate and just do an episode, like,
right? Just vibrating the whole time. But I do, and this is feeding off the idea that you had about us taking this outside, right? And having girls of the podcast adventures, like, you know, my Weekend Wander series. I would love us to do one of those, like where we go and do something
together. Yes. I feel like we lost a lot of that because we're not doing our lunches anymore. Our now time together is this.
But also we were doing things in life together. We were going on vacations together. We were having dinners together. We were going out. And to be fair, like the past year and a half has been a really strange season for me. I have barely traveled. My life completely changed. So I know that some of that is coming from my side. We would just be having a conversation and say, like, do you want to go to Costa Rica? Let's go to Costa Rica. And we just went to Costa Rica, or we'd go to New York or whatever. So I think that outside of this, I would love to spend more time with you guys. But I also think that this was a product of our relationships with each other. And if we could show people a little more of that as we get back to spending more time together, then I think that would be lovely.
Okay. Do you have a guest star? An idea? I'm talking about crazy.
Oh, like a famous person?
Anybody.
What about Angelo?
Oh, Angelo would be funny.
Yeah, because I feel like this is kind of how that originated. Like she wanted to do something similar with him.
Yes. I had a few podcast ideas, but Angelo would be great as what we were talking about before we started filming today, of like dating right now for women is horrendous, and he could give us he could say the same thing as a single dad.
I hear it. So I'm always around guys, and it's so funny to hear their perception of dating women. They're like, you guys are horrible. Like, it is not just us. It's like you're asking for money. Yeah. They're asking for money before dates and telling them that you need to buy me this. And I love it. Do it.
Okay.
But I want to hear the guys' points.
I do that for sure.
Okay.
I think that's it. There are other things in my life that I'm like, you know, but I don't think that they fit.
Okay. So last question. What is your wish or desire, or, you know, can't really find the right word, but for the people who are following us and are subscribed to us or are listening to us, how do you want that relationship to evolve? I know I want more engagement. Like, I know that some people listen to us and some people watch us, but I don't know if and it could be us, like, not establishing the type of rapport that we want, where your ideas are welcome and your input is welcome. And we want you to engage with us, even if you disagree with us, in a respectful way, because we will fight you. But I do want our relationships with the people that are following us and listening to us and subscribe to us to evolve to like where it feels like a friendship with them as well. And not so much like we're talking at you. We want to be, you know, we want you to feel part of this, because that was the whole idea of this, is community and building that.
And also that we don't want you thinking that you're watching us talk to each other. Like, we're talking to you as well. For our crisis fam, I would like to hope that they see themselves reflected in some of each of us because we have very different perspectives on everything that we've talked
Mhm.
about. And so I hope that they're finding something in each of those conversations that they can relate to,
Mhm.
whether it's something that Amanda said about family or that you said about work or that I said about relationships or whatever. They might not agree with our whole message, but our message is never one thing
Mhm.
because we show up as ourselves. Like we're friends because we complement each other, not because we all think and feel the same way.
Oh no, we're also very different.
Mhm.
We're so alike, we're so different.
Right.
Mhm.
What about you, Amanda? What do you want to see from our
I just want
crisis
to see the
management?
growth. I just want to see us. We came, we saw, we conquered. We've done 24 episodes right now. We've been here, we've done it. I just want to see more of the growth, right? Like I told you, like I want to do um, more day things, like more day to day life is what I would like to do. Instead of, but I guess we've talked about that. We incorporate it in the same way. Have some guest speakers, get some more point of views, more engagement, more just more focus, I guess. And a lot of it comes from me too, that I have to be able to create. I need to create maybe, and I've been saying this forever, like my own little Instagram to where I can separate from my personal Instagram to my more of but is a crisis,
But I don't think you're
side.
going to fully be able to do that. Like I had a situation and I don't want to get too descriptive because I don't want somebody who might watch to feel a type of way about it because I don't want to embarrass them at all. But I had a situation where somebody was like acknowledging the show
Okay, I saw you.
and I have interactions with strangers. I've had interactions with strangers throughout my life that are always kind of crossing my boundaries in a kind of way. I've had people like grab me in public. I've had people like they're not like weird creepy men thing. Like it's usually been by women. Like and I'm not like a touchy person. I'm
You're
not a
very
super
private.
I'm very private. I'm not very friendly with strangers. And
Strangers are watching.
and in that moment, I realized people were going to possibly come up to me and say things to me.
Mhm.
Because now they feel like they know you.
And I was like, oh no, what have I done?
You can't divert. You can't choose who's watching.
I had a serious moment where I was like, should I stop this? Because I don't know if I'm going to be comfortable with that.
Mhm.
And so I think there are parts of this that we're not anticipating that, we've talked about it lightly beforehand of like, be careful kind of what you say or what you're
Mhm.
doing or whatever. But there might be somebody one day who's
For-
recording you having a conversation in public where you're just talking shit to somebody like your normal
Mhm.
self. And then that's put on the
Oh,
internet.
people are gonna start bringing stuff up from our Facebook post from 20 years ago.
Right.
Like, she said this. Yeah, 20 years ago, bitch.
Right.
But I get what you're saying too, especially because professionally, right? So I'm not worried about professionally because I'm so open like a book, like to anyone I meet.
Yeah.
However, I think I'm more guarded when it comes to like the family aspects of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like with immediate family, to hear or see, or especially if I'm saying certain things. But I get what you're saying because I like have followers when I would post that I know if you knew or watching, you probably would not have been happy. So again, it's hard to separate all of that and still be yourself and still entertain and still do all the things. Yes, it's hard.
And that's like even so what I'm hoping is that it's controlled enough to where like
can it be controlled?
Like in the sense of, there are influencers or programs or whatever that have, let's say, 1 million followers that your average person on the street doesn't know who the fuck they are. Like they're walking around in life, nobody knows who they are. It's perfectly fine. That is where I would like to stay. That's it. Beyond that,
No, you can stop me and tell me I'm pretty in the street anytime.
no. I mean, but for me, to not be able to move in public, no. Like,
oh no,
before
like a
it ever
Kardashian
became
style,
that-
no way.
I've had that happen to me. Like people come up to me, they're like, I follow you on Instagram. And it's like the day that I'm like looking my absolute worst. And I'm like, oh, hi.
You wanna think, oh no, that's cute.
No, it's really cute. It's really cute. And I appreciate it so much. I just don't know why it always happens when
Yes.
I'm like looking crazy.
They're like, I follow you for your outfit.
Yeah, they're
You're like,
you dress
whoa.
so cute.
Typically.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
But it's like also awkward because it's like, okay, I don't know what to say. I don't, you
Right.
know.
Like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, but it's different
you.
when you are in the position and you're like caught off guard. And
Oh.
no, but it is really sweet.
And like I said, when I was giving my example, I don't want to make anybody feel bad. And if there's a day that somebody does approach me, I don't want anybody to feel bad. It's not. I don't think
Now they're gonna be like,
right. I don't think
Right.
they're gonna take like a hidden picture.
Yeah.
I know. I don't think negatively for you for doing it. I am just awkward and I feel uncomfortable in
Yeah.
myself. Like I want to be, if I have to be some version of this, I want to be like Keanu Reeves wandering around the city.
And this
Like a
like all the
bum,
time. Like,
and like nobody gives
Adam
a fuck.
Sandler, like just
I love
yeah.
it. Just leave me alone.
Well, this is my dress up days. Unless it's night, you're gonna
Right.
see me looking like a bum. Yeah.
Right.
Typically in jeans and shirts for work. Yeah, I'm roughing it.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun.
Yes.
And that's
Finale.
it. We are at the end of season 1.
I
If you are
know.
just meeting us, please subscribe.
Rewind.
Yes, go back to the first episode. You don't have to watch them in
Binge.
chronological order.
Yeah. No.
Like just go through them, look at the title that, resonates with you.
playlists.
We do have playlists,
Mhm.
Amanda has kept things very organized.
Mhm.
There's a shorts you can watch, long forms that you can listen to us. You can read about us on Substack. There's so many different ways that you can get to know us even more so. And we hope that you have enjoyed us talking. I wonder how many minutes in total. Like you need to add that up.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, you need to do that.
All right.
Like add up all the minutes that we've talked. But it has been
And this is the
so
short
fun.
version.
Oh, no,
because when
touche.
we would have lunch, we'd be there for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And it's only captured in here. It's not even the pre-gaming where we
Yeah.
just had a whole full-on conversation, and then
Right.
downstairs when we're
Yeah.
having full conversations.
Yeah.
We talk too much.
Well, such girls.
we
But
should start a podcast.
yeah, no, touche. Reality TV.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We love you. And
subscribe, like.
see-
We're not disappearing
Yeah.
in this break. We're gonna do like reruns.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll still be here, and hopefully, if you didn't get a chance to engage the first round, then this is your opportunity.
Yeah. And definitely come back for season 2.
Yeah.
Hey.
Bye.
Bye.